All right, hi guys. Welcome to the Kevin and Nash podcast. I'm Nash.
I'm Kevin.
Uh, you're Kevin.
Yes.
So it's been like a week since we recorded our first video. So how are you, Kevin? What are you doing now?
Oh, is this the new segment that we're introducing 2 episodes in? It's called
Yes.
What I'm Into Right
So yeah. So after our pilot episode last week, we thought like it would be much better if we introduce a bit more structure and a bit more clarity to how we do it. So starting with every episode from now on, we'll spend a short segment at the beginning of each podcast talking about what we've been doing since the last episode. So, Kev, what have you been doing since then?
now. I finished playing XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. It's a really good strategy game. I really enjoyed it. But I just want to say that in Enemy Within, Mimetic Skin is
Yeah.
broken. It's broken. Okay, I'll move on to you, Nash.
Well, all right. Well, the last 1 week I've had my heart broken. I spent over 40 hours on The Witcher 3 finishing every quest of the base game before going into the final main quest. And I got the bad ending. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but it broke my soul internally, broke my heart.
Oh, boo.
And then through breaking my heart, it made me realize probably one of the best games I've ever played. um, it's so good. I don't want to spoil it because Kevin here hasn't played it yet, and I don't want to spoil something that he hasn't tried. Um, so moving on from that, in order to fix my broken heart, I turned to anime, and I watched this show called Run Host High School Club, or High School Host Club, or whatever way it's arranged, and it's probably one of the funniest shows I've seen. It's pretty good. I'd recommend anyone who wants to spend 8 hours of their life watching just constant memes. These memes will melt your steel beams. Yeah,
Okay,
so that's what I got.
so in summary, right now, okay, we were into uh XCOM, Enemy Within, Enemy Unknown, and Witcher 3, and what's the enemy called?
Oran High School Host Club. Yeah.
Uh, Something Oran High School Horse Club, right?
Okay. Okay. Just to give you some context on what that is, right? Okay. Do you know what's a maid cafe, right? You know it's a maid cafe. So
Okay.
like a bunch of girls dress up and they treat you nicely. Imagine the male equivalent of that.
Oh boy.
So the show is about a high school club that does that, and it's pretty funny. I have to. It's one of the most enjoyable shows I've seen so far this year, lah, at least.
I'm gonna shoot you down right now. We're 3 minutes in. Let's talk about what we have to talk about.
All right. Right. Okay. So we're going to be talking about Marvel, right?
Yep. No, no,
So the Infinity War
comic book
comic book.
movies.
All right. And we're going to lead into Marvel from there. So comic book movies. What was the last comic book movie we saw? I saw Black Panther last. What did you think, eh? What did you
Same,
see?
same. Black Panther.
I liked it, I liked Black Panther.
It surprised me.
I know
It's actually pretty good.
I, I enjoyed like the movie and like um it's something I felt it was different from other Marvel movies in the sense that it had a good villain for once. It was a fantastic actor in Michael B. Jordan to be the villain. He was fantastic. He was so entertaining and like the way his motivations for the character actually doing the things he did were actually valid. You could understand why he was doing it
Mm-hmm.
compared to like, for example, what was the villain from the movie before that? Uh,
Thor Ragnarok.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. We are back. So now we'll be talking about comic book movies. So Kev, why don't you start us off?
Okay. I think I think we're gonna look specifically into the MCU. So Iron Man, what do you think? Good.
All right, let's start like from the first one, right? The
Mm.
pre Iron Man, right? I
Oh,
think
you're
like
gonna through
the
that.
what I mean like thinking about pre Iron Man superhero movies, right? It was like what there was Spider Man. There was
Yep.
Spider Man. There was X Men.
The same Raimi films.
Yeah, the Sam Raimi ones. Those were pretty good, in my opinion. Those were pretty good. But the thing that I liked about Iron Man was not really Iron Man itself. To me, I enjoyed it just as much as what's it called? The Spider-Man movies.
Mm,
What really made it cool was like we were watching the Incredible Hulk, and like we were staying back. For this was before the time everyone stayed back for post credits,
mm-hmm,
and like it was just because like, my mom just was didn't want to leave the theater at the time. She was just taking her time to sit down for a while, and then we saw like Tony Stark show up in the Incredible Hulk in the post credits, and we were like, what? You know, it's never been seen before. You know, at that time where people are crossing movies and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and that was something really cool. And then it came like Marvel's The Avengers, where all these guys would come together. It was all like something so new and so fresh that
Yeah,
I
such a
think it just set
cool
the
thing
world
to
alight. The age of the nerds basically was born now.
happen.
For anyone that's even slightly interested in this thing, it was so cool. Like everyone in school would be talking about it. You know,
Yeah.
it's something that is so different from anything that came before. Then came like phase two, where I don't know. I felt like the novelty was starting to wear off for some people, but a lot of it just felt better. It's just the stakes kept getting bigger and better for me, lah. Bringing in like completely unknown characters like Ant Man, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Only
and
two.
making it
Only
household
two new
names.
franchises.
Well, true. Well, that's true. Yeah, I
Yeah, but
guess
it's
so.
pretty
But then looking at
unique for what they're doing. Like Guardians of the
yeah,
Galaxy is like it wasn't big until they make the movie.
yeah. But if you think about it, right? Who was Iron Man? Like, if you ask like the average person, right, if they knew Iron Man, I doubt they would be that popular.
Yeah,
Then they were they were
Iron
no
Man was a
Spider
B
Man.
grade. He was a B grade comic character. Like, have you seen his original? I think it was his Golden Age or Silver Age design. That you can see the
Yeah.
eyes through his eye holes. It's
Oh yeah,
really funny.
he looked like I think like the suit that he had in the beginning of the first Iron Man movie, right? That was his
Oh
suit,
yeah,
something like that.
it does look like
His
that.
OG suit.
Yeah, it does look like that, but with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Iron Man colors.
yeah.
I
That
never
was
think of
that
that.
was that was that's the thing that I found so incredible. They made a franchise, right, that was so strong with like Iron Man. If you had asked someone pre 2008 who's Iron Man, nobody would know.
Yep.
But right now, if you ask people who do you prefer, Superman or Iron Man, the majority of casual fans would say Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know,
Poor Henry Cavill. He doesn't deserve this.
poor Henry Cavill, poor what was the guy in the 2007? I want to say Superman
Brendan
Returns
Roof
movie, Brandon Root.
ran out that Atom in The Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, he's better, much better in that than he was as Superman.
Yeah.
Uh, Well, I think MCU did something really cool in how they build their shows, where every movie is interconnected. It just
Mhm.
builds like anticipation for a movie. It's like built-in marketing.
Yeah,
All you have
yeah,
to do is say it's an MCU movie, and people will flock to the theaters to watch it.
yeah. So cool. It's like like you get to see a comic book universe come to life.
And
Like,
another example is like just this year, right? Black Panther was it this year? Yeah, it was
yep.
just this year. Black Panther came out, and if you had asked anyone pre Civil War who is Black Panther, right?
Hmm.
I can almost guarantee nobody knows who this guy is. Nobody
Yeah,
knows this comic book character.
yeah,
Um, and now it's made like 1 billion USD worldwide.
yeah. The
It's
biggest movie this year is Black
it's the
Panther so far.
it's the 16th highest grossing movie of all time. Like if you look at the movie, I'm gonna pull up that list, right? The movies above that is like Captain America Civil War, and just below it, okay, Transformers Dark of the Moon. Okay, that's not really a good example. Okay, wait, let's see what's below it to give you a scale. Yeah, it made more money than Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings penultimate movie. It's made
Whoa.
more money than the original Jurassic Park, and that may
Hmm.
be a bit down to inflation, but still, those are some big movies to be better, to be considered better than in terms of gross. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's amazing how that it's come from relative obscurity to become one of the biggest movies available out there.
Yeah.
Completely unexpected, and it's
It's,
still playing in theaters, right?
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It could go even higher.
I think if it's reached its peak,
Yeah,
it's
true
one
also
billion
lah.
is its peak already.
But that's just testament to how successful MCU has been in like building a universe where people watch a movie, they see a character that they've never seen before, and then immediately watch the standalone for it. Like,
Okay, jumping from a
yeah.
successful comic book movie universe to an unsuccessful comic book universe, the DC extended universe.
Oh,
Yes, we talk
I
about
don't want to say
this,
it's unsuccessful. I'm just going to say that the movies haven't been as good.
except Wonder Woman. We all in agreement?
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie, yes, but
Yeah, but it's a
it's not.
sucky
It's
ending climax lah.
um I would say my problem with it, right, is that it's it's not the problem with the movie per se, but the ending of the movie makes you think that oh, she's now gonna try and become a superhero and do all this, right?
But
But
Justice
then
League totally throws that out the window.
it retcons the like she's supposed to be one, but then like there's a comment made in Justice League where like oh, but you didn't do anything in you did something in World War One, but you didn't do anything in World War Two or something like that.
Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired.
That just basically destroys the character to me, in a sense.
Hey,
Like then you do realize what was she doing in that time, when all this stuff is happening, in a sense.
yeah,
Basically they spoiled their only movie that actually, you know.
yeah,
But
but
what I
say
can say
what you
is
want about
what movie
Wonder
yeah.
Woman and the DCEU. You know, the MCU has never won an Oscar. The DCEU has.
I was just about to bring that up. I was just about to bring that
Suicide Squad, mate.
up. What are we for the Suicide Squad?
To be fair, Suicide Squad is such a good idea, but they butchered it. So sad.
To be honest, right? I actually liked the movie the first time I watched it, but when I watched it back, I realized it's not that good.
Yeah.
But
Then you have the
honestly, with
Enchantress doing an Indian dance.
oi oi,
There's definitely an Indian belly dance. Come on, look.
yeah.
I know you cannot look me in the eyes right now, but
As,
you know that I'm telling the truth.
as a as an Indian man, okay, I will be the voice of reason and say, okay, it looked similar. It looked similar. But like honestly, lah, any of these movies, I feel Marvel Cinematic Universe is there, right, for the entire family to enjoy. Whereas DCEU, right, would be a good time if you're like a stoner, you're having some weed with your friends, or like you want to do a drinking game. All these movies would be fantastic for that. In Man of Steel, every time Henry Cavill looks serious or something like that, take a shot.
You know, like
Imagine how fun that would be.
I actually like Man of Steel because I like a different take for Superman. Everyone's saying that Superman should be cheerful and stuff like that, but a brooding Superman's like that's kind of new for me, and I kind of like it. Then BVS kind of destroyed that. Then, but Batman was cool in BVS, and then Batman wasn't cool in Justice League. It's like, how can you
Here's my
butcher? Like, you make one
sorry,
character good, but you butcher it in the next movie. Like Wonder Woman's character is like it's kind of butchered in Justice League, but Aquaman was good in Justice League. Flash is kind of okay. Yeah,
and then
sorry.
he said the movie he's gonna be bad.
Like you
Here's
know in
my problem
Justice
with
League,
Man of
you can tell that Jason
yeah, sorry.
Momoa was having so much fun.
Because to be fair, right, it's his biggest role today.
Yeah,
Before that, he was Khal Drogo in like
yeah,
Game of Thrones,
yeah,
and in Game of Thrones, he didn't speak English. He was speaking gibberish, So this
yeah.
is his first huge role where everyone can see him in speaking properly, and he did a good job, in my opinion. But here's my problem with Man of Steel. Okay, movie. I don't mind a movie if it's really good. I sorry, I love a movie when it's really good. I love a movie when it's really bad. The movie that I'm not willing to watch is a movie that makes me feel completely impartial. That's the kind of movie that wastes my time. You know, you watch a movie to instill a reaction.
Mhm.
And for Man of Steel, I felt nothing. I don't know. It's just like I felt completely nothing. It's like didn't strike any chord at all with me.
But I really like when Superman was fighting the Kryptonians and General Zod, because it's like you can clearly tell that he's outmatched, even though they have the same strength and stuff like that. And the him choosing to kill General Zod, I actually like that moment because it's like it forces him. It's like, oh, it's like he has to kill the last of his kin, the last of his species to be specific. It's like that is a moment for him, and I enjoyed that.
But the thing is, right? I felt like in the movie, right? That is true, but that is something that post the movie you probably read somewhere and you're like, oh, you dawn at the realization of what that scene meant. But if you watch it like just from the first time you're watching the movie, I'm sure you wouldn't have felt that way, right?
Um,
Didn't at least to me they didn't convey it well enough.
yeah, maybe maybe you're right.
At least that's how I feel. I could be like completely off the base here, lah, because every now and then my opinions tend to be very against the grain, lah. But I
Yeah,
really didn't like it.
but even though yeah, I
Moving
like those
on,
moments,
yeah,
but there's nothing memorable from it. Yeah, I defend those moments, but anything else is like, I don't know what to say about it. Like I was thinking, it's
mm,
like I was about to tell you, it's like maybe I should rewatch this. Then I thought to myself, it's like maybe I shouldn't rewatch this. Yeah.
okay. I'm a bit shocked now because apparently the original Man of Steel movie, right?
Mm.
It was written by Christopher Nolan.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
That's pretty interesting. That's a
Oh, I
nugget of
know why. I
information I
remember. I
didn't have.
remember why. Because he
Why?
he just finished the Dark Knight, and it's like DC is like, hey, you created Dark Knight. You can make one of the dynamic duos good, make the other one good too.
Yeah.
That's what DC was thinking.
Uh, yeah.
Warner
Here's
Brothers
here's
is
here's my problem with the
mm,
DCEU. They had such a great opportunity. The Batman movies, the Batman, what they call the Dark Knight trilogy was probably one of the best trilogies in recent memory. It's
mm,
up there. Okay, it's not better than the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but it's a pretty good trilogy. You know,
yeah,
it's one of the best of our time, and it could have served as such a good launching point for the DCEU, or at least take the inspiration from there. And they tried. They tried to go for a very gritty approach,
yeah,
but they missed out on what made the the Dark Knight movies so amazing. It was never the action in the Dark Knight that was so good. It was the story. It
mm,
was the it was the what's it called, story driven characters. You could feel the motivations of the characters so clearly. It was
yeah,
so well done in terms of character development. Instead, what they did was they went for a gritty tone and they went for a lot of explosions and they threw whatever they could at the canvas. That's what we got for the DCEU. That's
okay,
what I felt.
okay.
I don't know. I could be off the base now. What do you think?
About DC,
I mean,
uh,
what do you think
yeah,
about
yeah, I
INF?
agree that
Yeah.
they tried to be gritty, but you can do gritty. They can make good gritty movies, but I think they tried way too hard. They tried to emulate what the Dark Knight did. It's like the same thing
Hmm.
they tried to rush to do a cinematic universe. They want to jump in
Okay.
into the hottest train right now, but you
They
cannot
didn't
do
take
that.
their
Things like
time,
this,
right?
you need to put it on a you need to slow cook this kind of things. You cannot blast it with like the highest heat and cook it. You burn your food. You have to slowly cook it and make it into a good stew, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I know I'm
Cooking
giving food
analogies
analogy.
101, but no, lah, but I think you're right in that sense. Yeah, I agree with you. But how many years did it take for Marvel to make their first Avengers movie?
2008 until 2012. 4.
4 years.
Yep.
Whereas, how long did it take for, and how many movies did it span?
Let's see. Iron Man 2001, then Incredible Hulk 2, Iron Man 2. So it's three movies. Thor, and then Captain America 5 movies.
They took 5 movies.
DC
Overall, in
took
the
one.
DCEU right now, there's
DC
been two
took
crossover
one.
movies.
Took one in 3 years.
Yeah,
Bastards.
in the last 5 movies they've made, right? They've made basically three of these movies have featured team ups.
Yeah. Don't. You know what they should have done with BVS? Just make it a Batman movie with like Superman in the background, right?
I mean, like, my problem with it was not really the number of superheroes in the movie. My problem with it was the number of villains in the movie.
BVS.
I was perfectly happy with like just Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
but
Even
bringing in Doomsday, who's like one of the biggest villains in the
yeah, they threw it.
DCEU and
Now
basically
Doomsday
short
is
selling him.
trash in the DCEU.
And he looked, I don't know what they were going for his look. For a movie, the budget was 300 million gross, 250 net, and they still managed to make him look so ugly. You know,
You know,
people are like criticizing how Thanos looks right now in the DC in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
yeah.
Now, if you look back at Doomsday, right, it
No,
makes it's like Doomsday was so much worse.
if you want to compare Thanos, you should compare it with Darkseid. Come on, Dark
Has there been a dark side? No, I mean like in terms of how they look, in terms of look.
Yeah,
Understand what I'm saying?
you want kind of like a sort of good Doomsday. Look up Smallville's Doomsday.
Small. Oh, you mean the TV series?
Yeah, look it up and tell me what you think.
Did you did,
I have to say, even
did you ever see
it's
that?
more comic accurate.
Hmm. Oh wow, wow.
But you can
Okay.
tell there's a lot of makeup and prosthetics and stuff like that. But you know,
Uh,
I did
it
my
it
research
it,
before
it
on
honestly it looks it looks bad, but it's a TV show.
yeah,
It's a TV show.
but
I
Nash,
think it's okay.
let me tell you the
Yeah.
twist. The the Doomsday in Smallville actually has split personalities. He's actually a human with a infection, I think. I don't know. I looked up this like a year ago, and I think
Yeah.
he switches into like this Doomsday form. It's
All
pretty
right.
funny.
Hello.
Hello, yeah,
All right. Continue.
yeah, that's it. There's the show Doomsday also had like uh Green Arrow, Black Canary. It's, it's actually more than that.
Hmm.
Okay, but there's a story for another day. Okay, jumping from DC back to Marvel, but this time the Fox and Sony movies, since they're quite little, we can just talk about them both. So the first 20th Century Fox movie that's Marvel is the X-Men. X-Men,
Yeah, the first one, right?
yeah.
It's the one where like Hugh Jackman's like the main character, and it's about Rogue, and basically they just I don't know. I think when I didn't watch it like in the cinemas. I don't know what year was it released.
2000.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it in theaters. I'd have
Yep,
been 1 year
same.
old. I think I saw it much later on, and I liked it.
hmm X2
But
is pretty good.
X2 is pretty good. Yeah, I like
Last time
X2.
I like it as a kid, but right now I'm not so sure. Like
I
looking back, it's
actually
like
haven't
yeah, I get why people didn't like it.
actually haven't seen Last Stand in its entirety in years. I've seen like when you're flipping the channel and you see it on, and then you decide to finish out the movie because it's like in the last half hour.
They tried to
I've
do
seen the
a
ending to
Dark
that movie.
Phoenix storyline, you know,
Yeah,
and now there's gonna
but
be a
the
new
thing with the
movie
Dark
that's gonna
storyline,
be about the Dark Phoenix again.
the thing with that storyline is that it's a very deep storyline. You can't just pick one movie to build it up. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
It
yeah.
takes
Okay,
time, but
and
I don't know if Fox can do
and
that.
between the time the first X-Men trilogy. It was the two Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 which won one Oscar. Ooh, it's cool. Yeah,
It won an Oscar for what? Sound effects?
wait, let me check.
Hmm.
Awards.
I'm gonna guess it's costume design. Let's see if
Best
my guess
visual
is correct.
effects.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
fair, fair,
That's
fair.
fair.
And then there was like in the span of 2000 and 2006 was the X-Men movies and the two Spider-Man movies. Oh wait, I missed one more 20th Century Fox movie.
What?
You want to guess what it is?
Wait. So you missed out another. Wait.
Fox movie.
Catwoman, Daredevil.
Daredevil. The
Yeah.
Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie, but I've heard of the movie.
And
I've
also
heard of
Elektra. Oh, and
Electra.
Fantastic Four. Right.
Ah, I liked Fantastic
I
Four.
like Fantastic Four.
A lot of people said it was a bad. Okay, no, I'm not talking about the latest one, but the old one.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that
old one.
was a good movie. I like that.
Yeah, you got Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
Oh, you as a kid, I Chris Evans. I thought he was so funny as a kid.
Yeah, I thought in when I was a kid in real life, it was like, yeah, Human Torch is cool and everything, but he must be a real douche in real life.
Exactly,
Yeah,
he nailed the character.
yeah. And you look at him in Captain America right now, I was like, whoa, pretty good. And Chris Evans and other stuff is pretty good also. Like, I really liked him in Snowpiercer. Okay, okay. Let's look at the list again. Oh yeah, X-Men: The Last Stand. Then there was on 2007. 2007 there was Spider-Man 3 and the sequel to Fantastic Four.
Okay,
Plus, Ghost Rider by Columbia Pictures.
Ghost Rider. I liked it. I
Yeah,
thought Ghost
I
Rider
like
was a good movie.
say what you want about Nicolas
But
Cage, but
but
he's my Ghost Rider.
the first movie was really good.
Hmm.
First movie was really good. The second movie, on the other hand, uh, The Spirit of Vengeance, that was bad. The
I didn't watch that
second
one.
movie, I don't know what they were doing. Yeah, it wasn't good. You really shouldn't. It'll spoil your image of the first movie.
Okay, now
The first
to the
movie is like a very bad. The
mm,
second movie, I felt they saw, oh, Marvel is making funny movies. We should make our movie funny, and the jokes are just so bad. You know,
mhm.
mm,
Okay,
very cringe.
moving to post X-Men trilogy and Spider-Man trilogy and the Fantastic Four duology, if you like to call it
Yep.
like that. It's the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. What do you think? I think I think it was a pretty good pre-set ending. Yeah, that's it. And it okay, they butchered Deadpool. Thoughts?
Um, I honestly feel in that particular one, it's kind of underrated.
Mm,
Maybe they shouldn't have made the villain Deadpool. I'm sure they could have named it anything else, and people would have been okay with it. Like they could have named the villain John, and it wouldn't get as panned as it was. But because Deadpool is such a popular character, how they slaughtered Deadpool's character in that movie made it seem worse than it actually is.
yeah.
If that makes any sense. Yep, that's
Yep.
how I felt.
Okay.
It was,
Now,
it was, in my opinion, unpopular opinion. I thought it was better than the Wolverine, which is the following movie, right?
yep. But that's in 4 years. But now we can jump to 2011 X-Men First Class. Pretty good origin movie. I like the cast, good story, good time period too.
Good reboot,
Yep, good reboot.
and this was before. What's the name of the person who plays Mystique in this movie? The person from what's it called? The Hunger
James.
Games.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence was really good in this movie, and I
Hmm.
feel it's still the only movie where I say she really did a good job in terms of the character Mystique in the X Men.
Yeah, it gave
Because
layers to Mystique.
in this movie, I feel like she still wasn't that famous an actress. she was famous, but not like huge.
Yep, not as
Like
big
now she's
as
such a
now.
huge actress. But then after this movie, they started like because she's so famous, right? They stopped putting her in her mystique persona and more into her Loretta
Yeah,
because they
because
were selling the movie
she
with her
hated
face.
going to the makeup for Mystique.
Yeah,
She's allergic to
yeah.
it.
But
Okay.
honestly, I felt like that was something that maybe they shouldn't have done.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because because like character Mystique should be it should be more in Mystique than she is in her regular self. Because
Yeah,
if you think
yeah,
about the original X-Men movies, Mystique was always Mystique except for when she transforms into anyone.
yeah,
I think the only saw her real form was when she was turned back into a human in X3, Last Stand, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, yeah. She got shot with the cure.
Yeah, that was the only time we saw her real human form.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in this movie, like, she keeps going back to that particular form. That was my problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I really liked the reboot X-Men trilogy.
Okay. And on the same year, the sequel was right at the top. Came out. Okay, we talked about that. It's fine. And 2012, same year as the Avengers, the Amazing Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, I didn't like him from day one.
I liked him. Oh, he's a good. Andrew Garfield is a good Peter Parker, and I like him in Spider-Man because it's a bit
I
way different
completely disagree, lah.
than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. That's why I liked it.
I I think he's a better Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire.
Mm.
He's a much worse Peter Parker because
Oh.
for me, lah, Peter Parker has to be a nerd that is completely uh, socially awkward in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
A very nerdy persona. Whereas, like, they made him the coolest kid in the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, there's nobody cooler than Andrew Garfield. Even from the beginning of the movie when he has no powers, I still felt like he was cooler than any other character they introduced. Which is not what I feel is not the right Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see why it was very popular because Andrew Garfield is a good-looking dude and girls went literally crazy for him.
Well, right now girls go crazy over what's his name, Tom Holland. Right. Okay. The
Tom
next
Holland
year.
is a better Spider-Man. That's the thing. He's the best one of the three.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the thing. He fits the role perfectly. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving
Now
on.
in 2013, the Wolverine, Japanese Wolverine, Samurai Wolverine. Such a cool concept. Butcher, I don't know. Thoughts, Nash?
Not butchered. Um, I feel like whenever it comes to Japanese culture and in movies, lah, what's it called? Western filmmakers have a problem adapting it. Like even Ghost in the Shell
Mm-hmm.
had the problem, and I think it's just because they cannot. I think Western filmmakers have a difficulty trying to capture the emotion and the culture of the Japanese in movies. That's why it always falls kind of flat.
Okay.
That that's my opinion. That's why I think it fell a bit flat. But in terms of like side characters, I really liked what was her name? The female character that followed Logan around. What's her name?
Hemiko, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah. Let me just open up that now and let me see what her name is. Because I really thought she did a good job in the movie. What's her?
You saying Samurai
Uh,
Girl or the Princess? Not Princess.
the the girl that was on his side. The end of the movie when the one that the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 1 second. Let me see. I think Yukio. Yeah, it's Yukio if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she. No, sorry, not Yukio. Not Yukio. Uh,
Mariko.
uh,
It's
yeah,
Mariko.
Mariko. Yeah, I thought she was. I thought that she was the best character
Okay.
in that movie.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of people
Let's
who disagree with me. Lah.
let's move on to the next year, 2014. My favorite year for comic book movies.
Okay,
You know why? Winter
why?
Soldier came out. Loved it.
All right.
Guardians of the Galaxy, a surprise, and I loved it. X-Men
Mm.
Days of Future Past, one of my favorite X-Men movies. And just forget Amazing Spider-Man 2. I have nothing to say about that movie. Okay, we talk about Days of Future Past and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Go.
Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna lead with that. What I liked about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the soundtrack was amazing. Okay, now that I've said all the nice things I have to say about the movie, there's nothing else that you can say that was actually any good about the movie. Maybe Emma Stone, but that's it. The what's it called? The Harry Osborn in the movie is extremely weak. Um, Electro in the movie is even weaker. The story feels so convoluted and mixed up.
Rhino was the best
Uh,
villain in the movie.
Rhino was the best villain in the movie, and he was in it for less than 5 minutes
No,
overall. Right?
he's not even the he's the best, but he's too bad. You give Rhino a mechanical suit. This
Okay,
point thing.
here's the thing. You know why Rhino's the best? Because it's not because he was so good, because the rest was so bad.
Yeah,
You know how people say Marvel has weak villains? No matter how weak the villains are, they're never so annoying you just want to stop watching. Like, honestly, what the hell were they thinking with the Green Goblin? I don't understand what they were trying to do with that character.
okay.
Such a mistake. After, like, you saw how well Sony had done it previously with James Franco as Harry Osborn. He
Mm,
was fantastic in the role,
yep,
but this time they just rushing to make their own cinematic universe, trying to copy Marvel,
yeah.
and they screwed up.
It's because of this
And
movie,
I
Spider.
feel they haven't learned their lesson.
Yep.
Yeah, I really feel they haven't learned their lesson. Like now, have you seen the trailer for the latest Venom movie?
Sorry.
It doesn't look good.
Oh,
The trailer for the latest Venom movie.
it is Gundam.
No, Venom.
Oh,
Venom.
yeah. It's okay.
Venom. Venom doesn't look. I don't know. I don't feel any iota of excitement. And
Okay,
I'm just so afraid that the movie's gonna be bad.
we don't have to talk bad about the movie anymore. I bet it's like
Why?
you don't. We all know it's bad. Just let's talk about Days of Future Past. It's such a good movie.
Oh yeah, okay. Such a
Yeah.
good movie. Yeah, it's probably my second favorite X Men behind First Class.
Mm,
Um, one character. The thing that I think that okay, let's start with the bad things because I think there's only one criticism I can levy at it.
mhm.
Um, I think some of the characters that are introduced in the future are a bit weak. Like in the future world, like some of the characters they bring in, like the guys who are protecting Ellen Page. What's the guy that Idris Elba plays?
It's
I'm
not
not too
Idris
sure
Elba.
what his characters are.
It's not Idris
It's
Elba.
not.
No,
Oh God, now I'm gonna seem really racist.
dude.
I always thought it, I always
Okay,
thought it was Idris Elba.
it. He's a character that can look into the future and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I mean
your
like
your
there's no
criticism was the characters in the future.
that character. He feels like he's a plot device basically.
Hmm.
But that's my only criticism. Beyond that, I feel like the movie is next to pitch perfect.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
we
Okay.
should.
Before we
I
move
think
on,
I would rather let you talk about it because I think you feel more strongly with it than I did.
mm, mm, but why can I? So many things to say about it. Like jumping, like they merge both the reboot and the old X-Men. It's like it's so cool. You get to see. Okay, you don't exactly see them both interact, and that it's like such a solid cast. I think this is the closest thing you can get to so far. Okay, before Infinity War, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest Marvel crossover, if you like, because it's such a huge cast, like James McAvoy, then Michael Fassbender, then Sir Ian McKellen, stuff like that. Yeah. And okay,
I
before
think
before we move on,
yeah, I can
yes,
agree
we
on that.
spent too long on this. I just want to say that Blink is super cool. Blink is super cool in the movie. Okay, 2015 to the only 20th Century Fox movie, Fantastic Four.
The less said about that, the better.
Hey, Michael B. Jordan is in it.
Yeah, that movie could have ended his career, but thank God he's such a good actor. He saved his career because it kind of stopped. If you look at it now, right, it's
Hmm.
taken 3 years for Miles Teller because at that time Miles Teller was so hot.
Yeah,
I remember he was such a hot actor, like,
but
and then this movie completely like pulled him down for a while at least.
I think everyone in the cast is doing quite fine right now. Like Toby Cabell is doing fine.
Um,
He's a mocap actor, so he's fine. Kate Mara is doing
oh,
fine. Jamie Bell is doing fine. Yeah, they're all doing fine actually. A flop doesn't
luckily,
define the movies.
they're all very good actors. I honestly feel Miles Teller had the opportunity to go to the next level because
Hmm.
he had such a breakout performance in Whiplash the year before, which is still probably the best movie in my opinion about music. There's no movie that I think that is better than that in terms of if it based on music, like the what is another movie that I think that people would say when it comes to music, it's pretty good. The Sound of Music. I still
Oh, what
think
is
that
on
Sound of
music?
Music is good. It's good. Whiplash is better.
Okay.
Yeah, they are different movies, but they revolve around music. You know,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and I think in that subgenre, it's the best. Okay, very off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving back on, Kev. Please keep me back on track.
Okay. They might have 20th Century Fox might have flopped in 2015, but the start of 2016 is good because Deadpool
Yeah,
came out.
I'm not going to give most of the credit to Fox on that one. I
Hmm.
think I'm going to give that to the person who actually fought to get that movie done, Ryan Reynolds.
Mm.
How he even how they even leaked the trailer for the movie, how he fought with them to get the movie done.
Yeah.
He's put in so much love and effort into that movie.
Yep. Respect for him.
He eventually got what he wanted, lah.
It's a
And
good movie.
yeah,
But my only complaint is that there's not enough fourth wall breaking. I was like going in there, it's like, yes, this is one of the fourth wall breaking movies that I get to see in cinema. I was kind of disappointed, but nah, you pickers can be choosers. Okay.
here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably might get in trouble for saying this, but it's probably slightly overrated. But I understand why it's overrated because everyone had such low expectations of it after how Fox had previously destroyed um, what's it called, the pool,
Yeah.
and because of that, everyone had very low expectations, and because of that, because it blew away everyone's expectations, it probably did better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But I'm actually gonna wait to judge the series based on the second movie coming out in 1.5 months, two,
Okay.
somewhere there. That's
And
interesting.
the other Fox movie in 2016 is X-Men Apocalypse. A disappointment? Yes.
It wasn't that bad, but it was a step down from the first two. I can agree on that. It's if you're comparing like it's a suffered from sequel-itis, but it wasn't as bad as like Jurassic Park 3 in comparison to Jurassic Park 1 and 2. It wasn't like it wasn't as bad as like Hobbit 3 versus the Hobbit 3 Part 1 and Part 2 versus Hobbit Part 1 and Part 2, you know?
Yeah. You know what's funny about Apocalypse? That they actually jinxed it that the movie's gonna do bad.
How?
Because in Sophie Turner's Jean Grey, because they
Yeah?
were coming out of the cinema saying, "Oh, the fifth movie, something like that. The fifth sequels usually don't do well."
Uh,
They totally jinxed it. Yeah, if you have anything, they have nothing to say. We are moving it on to the next year to the last, yeah, the last movie,
yeah, sure. Let's head out. But
Logan.
wait. Uh,
Logan. Oh, Logan.
Logan's probably the best movie. the best superhero. It's not my favorite superhero movie, but it's probably the most. It's the best made superhero movie.
The yeah, if the most artistic comic book film. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't like superhero movies, this is the movie to watch.
If there was one of them that was gonna win an Oscar, like superhero movie to win an Oscar, it should be something like this.
Yeah, but it didn't. It didn't get nominated. It get nominated for, uh, I think best original screenplay.
It got nominated for best original screenplay.
Wait, let me check again. Yeah, sorry, best adapted screenplay.
Adapted or original?
Adapted.
Adapted lah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I
but but
think
that's the Oscars lah. You can't control what gets nominated and what wins an Oscars. After all, the comic book movie that I can think that's won an Oscar is Suicide Squad, and we
okay.
all know how good that movie is.
I'm gonna list all of the upcoming Marvel films, and you pick and choose which one you want to talk about. Okay. Obviously, Infinity
Yeah,
War
sure.
coming out this year. Infinity War, Deadpool 2, Ant-Man
Yeah.
and Wasp, Venom, X-Men Dark Phoenix. In 2019, Silver and Black, don't know what's that. The New Mutants, Captain Marvel, the Avengers 4, Gambit, and the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. And 2020 is Guardians 3. Okay?
Okay. I've heard two movies that I'm really interested in talking about.
Okay.
Number one being Gambit,
Oh,
and
Gambit. Oh, Gambit. Poor Channing Tatum.
uh, yeah, poor Channing Tatum, and the other one being Avengers: Infinity War, because it's just so incredible, man. Okay, let's start off with Gambit. Like
Okay.
Gambit is like, let me just look into the Gambit movie. When did he start trying to get this? Because from as long as I'm doing like comic book movies, I've been hearing about the Gambit movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's been like forever. He's been trying his best, and this character is a popular character.
You know,
Yet,
the first time I saw Gambit, I ever heard Gambit was in the X-Men Origins movie. I
huh?
actually like him. I like the Taylor Quiche version.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how many years it's been going on?
How many?
So, from what I can see, the first mention of it is that in 2006 they were making X Men: The Last Stand,
Yeah.
and they were planning to include Gambit.
Ooh.
And at the time, the actor they had in mind for that role was Channing Tatum. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so they tried, and then I think the script changed or something, and it didn't work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and they just removed the character. Then in 2009's X-Men Origins, Gambit was a character in the movie. And at the time, when I watched the movie, I didn't realize he was Gambit. And I thought he was a decent actor, the decent character in that movie. What's the name of the actor? I really like that actor.
Taylor
Although
Quiche. Just
he
open a
doesn't
tab
get.
and then you move on to Infinity War.
Sorry.
You just open a tab and research it later. You can talk about Infinity War.
No. I mean, I have to. Right, yeah, but he's such. I thought he was a good actor, but like he doesn't get work. But moving on. So they kept trying, right? So moving on, they got the movie. They were planning to do a spin-off in 2015, I think. And then in 2015, they reported Channing Tatum might drop out.
Mm.
Then that wasn't the thing, but the director dropped out.
Yeah.
So like, it just never ever really got in. But
Mm.
now finally, there's a date for the movie, and the movie looks like it's out of development hell. And I just feel like Channing Tatum, this is his like, it's been his goal to do this.
It's his
So
dead. It's his Deadpool.
it's his Deadpool.
Yeah.
And any movie when the people are so invested in making a good quality project, right? They have the investment to do it, right?
Mhm.
it can only end in two ways. One, it'll be a Deadpool. Number two, it's gonna be a room.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't mind either alternative because one, if you put in a lot of effort in right, the results will either be amazing or they will be amazing. You see the difference? Yeah. Anything else you want to add on?
Nope.
All right, then let's move on to Infinity War. The thing I want to talk about Infinity War is less about the movie, more about the cultural aspect of things. Like I think we decided to do this podcast because the latest trailer for Infinity War dropped, right?
Mhm.
What do you think of the trailer?
Um, Pretty cool. I think
Yeah,
it doesn't reveal much about it. Pretty cool. Pretty solid. Hyped about it. Hyped about the movie. Ooh, I cannot wait. I bet you cannot
I
wait.
lo- it's like 1 month away, and even that I can't handle.
Yeah.
The thing I found so incredible was I watched the trailer and I liked it, and it's a trailer that doesn't show anything away, which is good. But the thing I was shocked was that I was watching the trailer beside my mom, and she asked to watch the trailer again. And to my shock, my mom could recognize majority of the characters.
Oh,
Just to just to just to give a bit of background, my mom's not exactly the kind of person that likes watching like big blockbuster films. She'll watch it, but she wouldn't remember the names of characters and stuff. And but when she was watching it, she could tell who was each specific character, and I was shocked. That just shows the power of the MCU, where like even the most casual fan knows what's up, knows who's who. That's incredible.
I'm gonna send what you said to Marvel
Yeah.
to their marketing team, and you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this so much.
I mean, their marketing is so. I mean, like every movie they make, right? It's so good. Like the nerd in me loves it. The nerd enjoys it, but the casual in me also enjoys it. It's not a comic book movie only for comic book fans. It's a
Mhm.
movie for everyone to enjoy. Some people might say, "Oh, but it's very watered down. It's a Disney production where um, the stakes are never really high.
Mhm.
The characters that make money will never really be killed off." But still, if you compare it to whatever else that we have on offer, where, for example, when my mother watches, when we went to see Justice League, my mom didn't know who was who. And recently, me and my brothers were watching the movie again, and she asked us, "Have we seen this movie before?" She doesn't even remember what the movie was about. To the casual fan, it's not accessible, at least from what I see. They might go and see it, but they won't go back to watch it again, which is the complete opposite of Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I mentioned to my mom, I'm planning to watch it on the first day and then watch it again with watch it back again with my dad when he gets back on the weekend, right?
Mm.
She was like, "All right, I'll follow you for both showings," and I'm like, "What? My mom wants to watch the movie twice?" That's how powerful I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, where anyone can just access it. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but still, it's just I can't stress it enough,
Okay.
you
I
know?
think I think anyone who's listening gets a good idea. I think they would agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to cover, Kev?
Yes. The New
Ooh,
Mutants. You know about the movie?
I know nothing.
Okay. If you guess, what do you think it's about?
Um, if I were to guess, it's about mutants that are new characters.
Come on, try harder. It's a Fox production.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Oh no, that's a TV series. Never mind. Um, Let me guess. Is it like some sort of like subsection of the X-Men where
Yeah.
like they feature young characters, or like let me
Yeah,
guess,
it's
like
X-Men
Rogue be in
characters.
there?
Okay.
So
This
let me
movie,
guess, like some of the characters are Rogue or what? Rogue.
no, no, it's new characters.
Okay.
I'll tell you the characters, but I bet you know none of them. Okay.
All right.
This movie is one of the reasons why I disagree with the Disney Fox merger because this movie it's trying to, I believe, it's trying to break the superhero genre. Okay, let me tell you what what the Wikipedia tells me. The New Mutants is an upcoming American horror film in the superhero genre.
Horror.
Horror, horror. This
Okay.
is like I'm not into horror, but this is so exciting, right? It's
Okay.
pretty cool. Okay, I'll shoot you the characters real quick.
Holy shit. So, I'm looking at the wiki page. Holy shit. Maisie Williams is attached.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big name.
I'll just shoot. I'll shoot. Okay, since you're at the Wikipedia, I'll shoot to those who are listening. Is like Magic, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, Sunspot, Mirage, and yeah, there's a few characters. It's pretty cool. And if you haven't watched the trailer, you should watch it. It's actually quite scary. Okay, quick note.
There's a
Back.
trailer out for it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll give it a look after the podcast.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
I'll watch it with you.
Oh, this is the release date is on the 20 is next year. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait,
Because
they finished
apparently
filming
it
the.
was delayed for a year to reshoot the film to make it more scarier.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty. It's
I've,
such.
compl- I've never heard of this movie, man.
Yeah, it wasn't very big when the teaser came out. This is what I like about what Fox is doing. They're experimenting. If like ever since Deadpool and Logan, it's like Fox is like, okay, if we cannot emulate what Marvel is doing, why not we try something else, right?
To be honest, I don't want to see the X-Men in the MCU because I feel it would just overload the number of characters in the
Yeah,
MCU.
yeah. There was a point where I wanted X-Men to be an MCU, but when I look at what Fox is doing, it's like it's their own universe, and they're doing like different subgenres with it, right?
Hmm.
But sure, the MCU has their own subgenres, like Winter Soldier is a spy thriller like that. Then yeah, you don't get anything new or groundbreaking. Like a spy thriller is action and stuff like that. Mostly, it's like a subgenre for action, if what I'm saying makes sense. But the horror film in the superhero genre, that's new. It's gonna be groundbreaking if it's good, you know?
Now I'm just looking at something interesting about this, right? Their cast, right, is complete. They've casted their cast based on like it's a very multinational cast. Oh,
Yeah,
this is quite interesting. This is pretty interesting because they have a Brazilian guy who's actually playing a Brazilian, uh, uh,
they have
a British person actually playing a British character, albeit Scottish. Lah.
they have Anya
Or,
Taylor-Joy in the movie. She was in Split. I should watch that. I always want to
hmm,
watch that. And Charlie Keaton, he's Will's brother in Stranger Things. If you watched it,
I didn't watch.
yeah,
Didn't watch.
one of the Things kid is in here. More not kid, but teenager. Sorry.
Hmm, all right.
Okay,
That's really incredible.
okay.
Hmm.
Now you get the gist of the New Mutants and it'll open your eyes to it. Let's go back to let's not talk about upcoming DC movies.
Hmm. All right. Upcoming DC movies.
So
Okay.
it's Aquaman, Shazam,
All right.
Wonder Woman 2. That's all. That's listed on Wikipedia. But
I
I'll
think those
name
are
a
the only
few.
ones with a release date, right?
Yeah,
I
post
think those are the
production.
ones with a release date.
Yeah,
Let's
like
see.
not in
Let's see if
development
I can.
hell. Like the ones in development hell I can think right now is Flashpoint, possible
Um,
Man of Steel sequel.
actually, wait. Yeah, there's quite a few. Wait. There's
Have you heard
quite a.
about the New Gods movie?
Sorry,
The New Gods movie.
the new gods.
Yep.
Sorry, what's that?
The New Gods, it's if I'm not wrong, it's Darkseid and his posse.
What are they doing, man?
Yeah, they shouldn't do that. Okay, any
I understand.
thoughts on all these
All
movies.
right, all right. So I found the upcoming movies, right? I think you left out one. You left out Cyborg and Green
Oh,
Lantern Corps.
oh, those are in
They
development hell.
Aquaman in post production. Shazam is currently filming.
Hmm.
Shazam, I'm excited for, not because of any of the people. Any of the people directing, but because The Rock is attached.
Okay, understandable.
The only thing that I honestly thought that would have made Shazam even better if like The Rock was like Black Adam. The Rock is Black Adam, but what's it called? Shazam actually being like John Cena. As a WWE fanboy, that would have been beautiful.
And to those who are listening, if you cannot
Yeah,
tell, Nash is a big fan of The Rock. So
I'm a big fan of professional wrestling in general.
yeah,
I watch too much professional wrestling for my own good, but still, yeah. Then there's Wonder Woman 2, which is 2019, Cyborg 2020, Green Lantern 2020. Yeah, I think the only one that I'm really interested in is like Shazam. No confidence in the rest.
it,
How
right
about
now
you?
I think that they're right now in a transition phase. There's a good chance they'll reboot the whole DCE because Jeff Johns was brought in to like helm the DCEU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anything after Justice League, you can call Jeff Johns responsible because Justice League Jeff Johns came in like mid production. I don't know, maybe he brought in Joss Whedon. I don't know. That one not so sure.
Just 1 second. Yeah, Jeff Johns is okay, but maybe we should give some context to who Jeff Johns is. So let's just find this wiki page because I don't want to just talk out of my ass when it comes to Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jeff Johns is basically someone that is a writer for DC. He was originally a writer for DC. He used to write a few comic books for them. But then he eventually basically is basically the president and also the CCO, which is the creative officer for DC Comics. So he has a lot of goodwill within the comic fanverse, at least as far as I can tell. He's
He wrote
written quite,
Flashpoint.
yeah, he's written quite a few, what's the word for it? Iconic storylines, to say the least, you know? So there is a bit of confidence in his ability, but so far, is it too late to save the DCEU in terms of like its perception?
Like, is it dead?
Sorry,
Like, you saying the DCU is dead?
not to say is it dead, but is it possible to fix the perception? Because I feel like the perception of the movie is
Like, I think
very
the
bad.
universe is kind of dead. Like, I don't think a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Like looking at their films in development, like okay, I'm excited for Booster Gold because I've always been a Booster Gold fan, but there's like a there's a Luo film plan, there's a Deathstroke film plan, there's a Dead Short film plan, there's a Suicide Squad 2, there's a Nightwing, there's a Gotham City Sirens, which I think would probably be a cool idea, but still, there are so many movies here that I don't even want to comment on because because there's no meat to these ideas. They're just throwing everything at a like how we said earlier we were talking about Fox how they throw new ideas onto a canvas and see how it goes.
Hmm.
What DC is trying to do is they're throwing things on the campus without a plan of doing anything different. They just want to do everything the exact same uh, way, like the last five movies. And even if it fails, they're probably not going to learn their lesson.
Hmm.
I'm a bit sick and tired, in a sense.
Okay, I think are we done talking about the comic movies?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's that much for us to talk about anymore.
Okay, so I guess this is a wrap
All
for
right,
this
yeah, let's
podcast.
call it there. That was uh, that was a long discussion, talking about some things that were fun and a lot of things that weren't, especially when it came to DC.
Yeah, look,
All right,
really looking forward to Infinity War.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for everyone that was listening. So, thank you so much. We'll call it now.
Yep.
So, thank you and goodbye. This is me, Nash,
Goodbye. Bye.
and
I'm
that was
Kevin.
Kevin signing off. Okay, bye.